You know one thing that I want to say, it's like battling with defective workmanship.
Defective workmanship. Hey guys, if you like this video, like,
Subscribe.
What's up everybody, and welcome to another episode of Info with Ian. I'm sitting right next to an absolute legend within our industry, Mr. Wayne McLaren. Wayne, welcome to Info with Ian. It's great to have you, buddy.
Yeah, good to see you.
So guys, the reason why I brought Wayne onto the set today is to inform not only myself, but obviously every single one of you, the importance of dealership insurance. Dealerships that are selling cars, whether it be 2, 20 or 100 cars a month, these guys need insurance. There are very specific nuances to this insurance cover that a lot of people don't understand. The little bit of research that I did is you get something called internal and external motor insurance. Is that what it's called? And this forms part of the overall policy. I understand the external one. You know, takes the car for a test drive, bangs it up. The insurance says, all right, cool, no problem.
Yeah.
We'll pay out, sort it out. But the internal one, it doesn't really make sense to me.
So basically on the internal stuff, Ian, everything with inside the dealership is covered. Example, salesmen taking cars out of parking spaces, hitting cars, breaking windows if they've got glass showrooms. So it covers all those scratches on cars. It happens on a regular basis. And especially when you're dealing with a lot of the major dealerships that have floors that are carrying 50 plus cars. Yeah. And salespeople are coming in, sitting on cell phones, reversing cars. Accidents happen, just like in parking lots. So imagine internal policy covering a whole parking lot, and I'm sure you know a lot what happens in a parking lot in a shopping center.
Yes.
So you basically covered within your internal dealership. Yeah, caters for items like that.
Now, tell me, when it comes to the actual structure of the dealership itself, I understand that the cover on the vehicle itself, because it's going to create some form of damage, but that cover then also extends to the building that it's in?
Yes. A main factor inside our policies and the insurer we use, this insurer only insures car dealerships. So you can't go bring
specifically, they specialize in that only.
We've designed it, we've worked closely with this underwriter, and what we've done is we've come up with the program of what actually happens in a dealership every day. So, there's different times in a dealership. There's month end, there's the beginning of the month, people trying to get deals through. So all accidents happen, in all times.
You said you understand dealership business. That's because you come from a dealership background. You actually ran not one, but several very large and successful, reputable dealership brands in South Africa for many, many years.
Correct.
So you really understand all the small nitty-gritty technicalities of what goes on in the background.
Yeah.
And what is required to make sure that our clients today, that they're properly covered and that they have the right cover.
100%.
Okay.
And in the dealership, it's a unique place. I mean, I have very fond memories of my dealership days. But things happen on a daily basis. You have trickery. You have key swapping.
Key swapping?
Key swapping.
What is that?
So let me give you an example and what happens in a dealership. I'll come in, you'll be the sales guy, you'll take me for a test drive or whatever. I'll then sit there, wait for you to say, hey, Ian, let's go get me a cup of coffee or organize my finance or whatever it be. I will then have a duplicate key that I will then have with the car that I came, because I'm a scamster. As you go out, I swap the key. I then take the key. You've got the fake key, and I'll drive away with the car. And also on the way back, I park it. I might say my wife's coming. So these are things that happen. There's a lot of fraud that happens inside dealerships. Yeah, so these things are all covered. These are unique covers. And Mont Blanc, it's one of our philosophies. We have pockets of excellence. So, we have different departments that specialize in what we do. And that's a unique thing about Mont Blanc. I'm not coming here and saying, look here, I'm a great engineering expert in insurance, which I'm not. We that person. Yeah. However, when it comes to dealerships, to sit in front of the guys, to talk their talk, for them to understand that they're talking to someone who understands the industry. It makes the world of difference, and the guys are comfortable because, like I said, we understand.
100%.
And motivate claims because these things happen.
Another question I'm going to ask you again, I read something along the lines pertaining to defective workmanship.
Yes.
Run me through a scenario where the defective workmanship element would actually come into play and how the policy would react to it.
You take your car, you take it in for a service. What happens is the mechanic works on the car, etc. You get the car back. You then drive out the dealership and the car engine blow. Anything that happens while they're working on that car.
So the mechanic made a mistake.
Mechanic made a mistake. The mechanic was having a bad day, he made a mistake. The customer, being me in this situation, would bring the car back and say, hey, I had my car serviced, it's blown up, whatever. The dealership will be covered for that.
What happens in the case of I'm a client and I come in to purchase another vehicle and I give a trade-in before that trade-in is going to be sold on the second-hand floor, whatever the case is? What happens in a case that that same mechanic, once a vehicle's been traded in, makes that same mistake?
Now, this is what's unique about our policy. Once you hand your keys over to the client drives out, defective workmanship kicks in. However, if you're inside the dealership and the car is owned by the dealership and it's in the used car lot and they take the car to the service department to get fixed and again, same scenario happens. Now, however, now you can't sue yourself because you know what I'm saying? There is no cover. The guy thinks you've got to now pay for it. We have a policy that kicks in and covers that. And it's one of our products we offer.
So that actually protects the financial liability for the dealership, even on trade-ins?
100%. Because, you know, a lot of cars would be under motor plan these days, as we know. And motor plan would simply turn around and say, it's a mistake done by your mechanic. Therefore, they can't claim from the motor plan. The dealership absorbs the cost. And a new engine can cost up, depending on the brand.
Policy will obviously
kick in. Yeah.
Sort of just to end off, are there any sort of cover options that they require or that they have in the policy that they're not aware of?
So a lot of policies, if you don't have your named drivers, for instance, on there, and you working in a dealership take a car home and have a car crash, but you're not stated on the policy, our policy kicks in. It's called social and domestic driving. And that's another unique thing. So what our policy allows you to do is to run your dealership and for us to worry about how it's done. Because there are days and new people join dealerships and people might not have sent information through that driver's there. These things do kick in. Another instance is that a lot of dealerships go to golf days, advertise their cars, put them in shopping centers. So what happens with these things? You cover on our policy. There's limits on your policy, what you've got, and you covered on that policy.
I'm almost certain that you're going to get the odd guy that brushes against the car, scratches it, you know, maybe a little dent and a ding here, but I suppose it's going to be more cosmetic damage. How would the policy respond to that?
So it's covered. Someone could fall over, bang a door in, these things happen. Okay, so those things are all covered.
Yeah.
Okay, under your policy.
Awesome. Well, listen, guys, you've heard it from the expert himself, Mr. Wayne McLaren. If you have a dealership, or if you have a friend, a mate, a colleague, someone who knows of someone who owns a dealership and they feel like they are not adequately covered or not even sure of the cover that they have, get in touch, get a broker today. Cheers. Wayne,
cheers.
Thanks buddy.
A lot.
Appreciate your time. Ciao.
Hey guys, if you like our content, please like, subscribe, and go to our YouTube channel and our Facebook page. Thanks.